All right, well, hey, everybody, thank you so much for supporting the What's Hot TV show and podcast. We are actually at the final episode number 8, and we are here with Aaron Burt of Globit.
Actually, this is perfect.
All right, hello, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in to the 8th episode of the What's Hot TV show and podcast, where we spotlight sustainable solutions and we get to meet inspiring ecopreneurs like Aaron Burt of Solvus Global-Kinetic batteries here in Worcester, Massachusetts. So thank you for having us in your new space.
Absolutely. Thanks for being here. This is fantastic. You guys are our first guests here, so we're really pumped to show off.
Okay, great. Well, I'm glad it worked out. Well, thanks for choosing Worcester and being such an innovator here. And I just love the new space that we're in. We're going to get some more footage, but I love that we've got the blue masking tape marking out what's possible for your new company.
Yeah.
So tell us, Aaron, what do you guys do here?
So at Solvus Global, we view ourselves as innovators and problem solvers to today's biggest problems that the world's facing, whether it's climate change, world hunger, recycling. Those are the areas that we want to be targeting. And our first goal is really to solve problems in the materials and manufacturing space. And so we work with universities and governments to adapt technology that's been developed in these labs, and we use them to bridge the gap between the laboratory and actual use in the industry, and especially for the end consumer and the end business. We want to be able to get our technology into their hands as quickly and effectively as possible so that we can meet those growing needs that are happening in our world today.
Very cool. Well, thank you for being such a thought leader and really caring about especially the planet, which is the focus for a lot of the folks watching the What's Hot TV show and podcast. So I know people are familiar with batteries, as it were, but we know that this isn't a retail establishment for batteries. So you're here in your new spot, 104 Prescott Street in Worcester, here in Gateway Park, which is just an incredible place. If folks haven't checked that out, there's so much happening and popping here in Worcester. So while they can't come and actually purchase batteries, what is it that people can kind of get their heads around? Like, what would be an example of a, say, customizable product for a certain customer, and who would be an ideal customer for you?
So a key part of what we're doing in developing the next generation of lithium-ion battery manufacturing is really designing these batteries to be totally customizable. So you can imagine putting a battery in a submarine, right? Most batteries they're square, they're cylindrical, they don't fit in the shape of a submarine. They don't fit in the shape of a sensor that might be a patch on your back. So what we can do is we can put the batteries in a form and a shape that meets the specific needs of the end product. Instead of trying to take a square peg into a round hole, we fit a round peg into a round hole. We design the shape and size of the battery to meet the end need of the product.
Wonderful. And so who would be a typical customer of yours?
So most of our customers are going to be businesses. So we'll work with major manufacturers, OEMs, whether it's car companies or consumer electronics devices. We work with them to try and fabricate batteries that meet their needs. So keep your eye out, because eventually you'll start seeing our batteries in your end products.
Great. Awesome. Well, thank you. And I know that you're already quite famous, I have to say. I've done a little bit of research on you. Very impressive, Aaron, and we're really blessed to have you here in Worcester. And I know you've been a big part of the WPI community and Venture Forum and a lot of these different spaces in the entrepreneurial landscape here in Worcester. So if you can just comment briefly on, why choose Worcester, especially choosing this brand new beautiful space. It's obviously an investment. People have invested in you, and you've invested in this community. So why Worcester? Why now?
Yeah, so Worcester for me is such a great example of a place that is on the rise, right? So you look back at the early manufacturing era here, and you see the big boom in the economy that happened in this space, and that's coming again, right? But it's coming in the form of innovation in a whole bunch of different sectors, from biotechnology to recycling to new materials and additive manufacturing. It's all coming here in Worcester because we have the right combination of talent from the students that are coming out of all the universities. We have the right combination of businesses that are here, that are doing manufacturing, that are developing really cool technologies. And we have the right place and time, right? We have all of the access to Boston, to New York, to all the surrounding communities, and it all kind of converges in this one space. And so we're really excited to be here, to be part of that growing ecosystem, and we really want to see that move to the next phase of of innovation and technology improvement.
Definitely, and one of the things I'm really excited about in spotlighting your company here, Kinetic Batteries, is that compared to some of the other ecopreneurs that we've been able to feature, you guys have more of that internal process that is sustainable, right? That's not quite as obvious day to day. So I'm really excited to be in your manufacturing facility here, and I know, there's something that people are curious about, and we are going to actually have a chance to see a couple of demos downstairs in their space. So we are going to cut soon and get down there so we can actually meet some of the people on your team and see hands-on what's going on, and I'm sure we've got some questions there. I just want to comment before we do that briefly about your team itself. I know you've done a really great job expanding not only space but team and people, and I know it sounds cheesy, but teamwork makes the dream work, right? We can't do any one thing by ourselves. So I know your team they're doing very well. They're working so hard right now, and they were told to just kind of keep it zipped. So they are
that's the
here.
hardest thing they've done.
We appreciate you guys, and I just want to commend you for especially your growing internship program that you have, and that is a model that I think a lot of people are interested in. I know that's sort of my space as well, and just good job on building that pipeline of real people that are really contributing to real hands-on projects. Is there anything that you'd like to say about your team or to your team?
So everything is built on people and relationships, and the team that we have here is like a family. We hurt together and we win together, and it's been a tremendous experience so far. And as we continue to grow and build our team, we're really excited to pull in more young people, more talented people, very cross-disciplinary, diverse backgrounds. That's really what we thrive on. And so if you're looking to be part of a team like this, please reach out to us.
Very cool. And best website, actually, while we're on the topic?
Yeah, www.solvusglobal.com.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. So we'll definitely hear more. You're going to hear more about Aaron's story and his background journey as an ecopreneur and just a human being on the planet. We'll cover that in the podcast. So let's head on down and see some live demos. Thanks, Aaron.
Absolutely.
Great. We are back with Aaron Birt of Solvus Global and Kinetic Batteries, Worcester, Massachusetts, and we're downstairs now in the space All Things Lab. So, Aaron, if you can share with us what goes down here in the basement. It's not really a basement, it's quite a nice space.
I know, beautiful lighting, right? It's relaxing.
I know.
It's so much better than where we were. So this is where we take all of our ideas and we start actually making them into reality, right? So we talked about Solvus Global and Kinetic Batteries, but really this is where we take all of our ideas in Solvus Global and we transition them into actual products, technologies that then can be spun out into standalone organizations and companies. That's the whole idea behind Kinetic Batteries, which is the first example of one of these spin-off technologies, growing, raising funds all on its own, so that we can take these ideas and we can get them into the hands of end consumers and industries as quickly as possible, while we at Solvus Global can continue to focus on the next idea, the next big thing, the next problem that we can solve.
Love that.
So in this space, we have right behind me the giant wire arc additive manufacturing system. So this is a 3D printing system that takes wire and it melts it and builds large parts with it. This is designed to build very, very big things, not tiny little small parts, but big things. So this is one component of what we do here. And so a lot of the other aspects that we work on are things like recycling, battery technology as part of Kinetic Batteries, but we also work in a number of other areas related to machine learning, artificial intelligence, computer software, data management. It takes all of these different components combined together to really deliver an end solution in the 21st century. So we combine digital and physical into our products to solve the kinds of problems that we're trying to solve.
So awesome. So just briefly, and I know we'll get to see the actual demo stations I'm excited about, but the everyday consumer who wants to support sustainable initiatives, how might they support your initiatives?
Yeah. So for us, the biggest thing is being involved in sustainable solutions just in general, right? But also talking to the people who are around you, especially people who are in power, and telling them that investment in these types of technologies matter, that communities and cities and states should be investing in clean technology, in solutions that reduce waste, and really in using technology to take what was once waste and turn it into something that's useful. The more that you can talk to the people who are around you, the better off we all are.
That's great. Thank you. That's very actionable for people. And so we're going to leave it there. And I know you're going to have some closing remarks in just a moment. So why don't we cut for now?
Hey guys, so welcome to one of the many kind of sub-activities that we have here at Solvus Global. This is our AI scrap sortation stand. So we have an NSF SBIR, that's basically an investment from the US government, to develop a new solution to more sustainably and effectively sort scrap material from cars. So when a car is at its end of life, right, it goes to a junkyard, but it gets torn apart into a bunch of different pieces. And our job is to sort those pieces so that you can extract more value from the scrap. Right now, there's not a lot of profit being made in sorting these materials. So what we're doing is increasing the amount of profit so that we can actually more sustainably be able to pull these recycled materials back into our normal everyday use. And so here with me is one of our interns, Kane, who's from WPI, and he's working on this program to try and support a whole bunch of other interns who are going to be here trying to help us develop the algorithms, the models, and generate the data. And so behind us is an example of what this data looks like. And so I'm going to let Sean explain a little bit about the process here and what he's doing to try and turn this into a more sustainable scrap sortation system.
Yes, so what we do with the scrap that we receive is we have an influx of material from an industrial scrapper that we then initially have to sort out into different materials, which are what we initially take just based off a visual guess. Then after that, we go through a process that takes a picture of it to get the dimensions and the different sizes that we will see coming out of the stream. From there, we weigh it to get the average weight of the different sizes that correlates with the picture. We then grind down a part of that sample so that we can then test it for electroconductivity and XRF data, which is the composition. And from there, we then get volume measurements. So with all this data we collect, we'll then use that to feed into our artificially intelligent sortation system so that that system can then begin to recognize the different types of scrap and sizes and begin to pull them out based on what is going through the system.
And Sean, what year are you at WPI?
I am currently a junior at WPI.
Junior at WPI. So this is amazing what you guys are doing so far, right? So talk a little bit about this and this, right? Where is this coming from?
So this is collectively what is going through the shredder. Whole cars, seats, engines, frames, and all being scrapped down into a bunch of different little pieces, some usable, some not. And at these industrial facilities, there's unfortunately a lack of technology, which is what we're trying to improve. So by the end of the sortation at that system, you have a mix of old car foam and metal that can eventually be reused. So what our goal is to get the stuff that we can't use, that can't be put back into a usable system, out and have the artificial intelligence system be able to recognize the stuff that is reusable, the stuff that can be put back into the world, and be able to pick that out more efficiently.
Awesome. So what are you most excited about with this project?
So what I'm most excited about with this project is that we are trying to do something for the overall betterment of the environment and our community as a whole. We are going to be using less primary source and using more of the recycled source back into our everyday, which is going to save energy, waste, and overall raw material.
Yeah, and so with the current trade climate and everything else that's happening in the US and the world as a whole, the type of work that we're doing here is really going to enable a more sustainable future, especially for high-value materials like aluminum metal. Right. Welcome to kinetic batteries, right? So kinetic batteries, again, is a part of Solvus Global. This is our first spin-off. We're actually commercializing the battery manufacturing technology that we've developed. So here with me are three key members of the team. This is Joe, Ali, and Chase. And I wanted to introduce you guys to these three because collectively we have such a cool combined story, right? Everything about a company and an organization is the people and the talent and retaining the talent, but also making sure that people are excited to be working on the projects that they're working on and excited to be part of the team and the family. And so I just wanted to give you guys a quick intro. Chase is an intern. He's been an intern a year ago as well. He came back for more punishment. He's from WPI. So Chase, quick shout out. Why are you here?
Reason I'm here is because of Aaron's vision. Aaron has this great vision to change the world and innovate all technology with renewable energy. And I've been able to learn a lot from Aaron and the whole team, and that's why I came back this year.
Awesome. Thank you, Chase. So Joe was actually our first full-time hire at either Kinetic Batteries or Solvus Global. So he came in and kind of tag teamed with myself and Sean Kelly to really bring Solvus and Kinetic Batteries to what they are today. So Joe, tell me a little bit about kind of how you got here and what you're doing on a regular basis.
Yeah, so I know Aaron and Professor Pelling and Sean, the founders of Solvus Global, through WPI. That's where I did my graduate research. I got in contact with Aaron, I think, now, a little over a year ago.
Longer.
And really, my dream, my vision was to be part of an entrepreneurial environment where I could work on clean energy. So Aaron contacted me. It was a perfect fit. I came in a year ago. I got to work on 2 separate companies. One was Solvus Global, which brings in all sorts of different materials, and then Kinetic Batteries, which encompasses that clean energy aspect. So realistically, it was a perfect fit.
Yeah, and it's been wonderful to have Joe here kind of leading the way from a more senior level perspective. So Ali Valamanesh is a recent WPI grad and was actually the first intern that we ever hired at Kinetic Batteries. So Ali, what has changed since you first started here with us?
We used to, all our belongings used to be able to fit in one small closet, and all our operations for the first year or so just came out of one small closet in a basement of a building.
Yeah, Washburn shops.
But we've grown steadily, but pretty quickly as well. So it's really exciting to see all the changes out here.
No longer in a basement, no longer in a warehouse. We've got our own space. It's pretty exciting, right?
In one spot.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit about your journey through WPI and why you're here.
For me, I feel very lucky to have met you so early at my WPI career, I guess, and Professor Appelian.
It's mutual.
Yeah. And I was trying things out. I tried a couple of things out, and I felt like Kinetic Batteries was my best option in giving me a chance to kind of pursue my goals every day. And that would be to kind of have a chance to work on saving the environment. I mean, we all talk about how important having renewable energy is, but we need energy storage, and we need it now. And I feel like Kinetic Batteries provides me with the chance, at least, to be able to fight for that.
Yeah. Awesome. Thank you.
So thanks again, Aaron, for having us here in your space. You are a very inspiring person and ecopreneur. I'm so happy that our audience got to meet you today and learn more about Solvus Global and Kinetic Batteries here in Worcester, Massachusetts. I want to really thank our audience for supporting the What's Hot TV show and podcast, where, as you guys know, we spotlight sustainable solutions. And this is the final episode of season number 1. So we're in startup mode 2, and we just appreciate you guys tuning in and also doing your part to support sustainable solutions. So with that, I just want to give it back to Aaron, and if you can give us any closing remarks.
Yeah, of course. Well, I mean, thank you so much for including us in this last episode. That's really exciting for us to be part of what you're doing. Being able to support entrepreneurs is wonderful, right? So I think my last thought and takeaway is really just that as individuals, it's all of our responsibility to be working towards a more sustainable future. And there's no time like right now for you to really get out of your comfort zone and do something about it. And maybe it's starting a new media company, right? Maybe it's solving problems for interns. Maybe it's developing technology solutions. It really doesn't matter what it is. Get up and go do it. Thanks.
Boom!
We got it that time.